Apparently all my favorite movies from my childhood are now considered disturbing. We'll talk about it. After Parker McCollum, got 15 more seconds. That's Parker McCollum, Handle on You on 101.1 at KRMD. It's 9:10 on Mason in the morning. Congratulations to all those of you who got to see Parker McCollum this weekend. I heard it was a heck of a show. Heck of a show over at the Brookshire Grocery Arena. Glad you got to go. If you missed it, I'm sure he'll be back again. From what I hear, he really did put on an excellent show. It's exciting stuff. Speaking of excellent shows, apparently a lot of the shows that I grew up with, shows that I really, really liked as a kid, are now considered disturbing, which is disturbing to me. There's a list out today, which I'm finding pretty hilarious. It is a list of disturbing movies that millennial parents are showing their kids. And I looked at the list just real quick, and all of these are movies that I think I've had my daughter watch. Every one of them. And I love them. I love these movies. I remember them so well, and I remember they meant something to me, and they touched me a little bit. You know what I mean? It feels like my childhood. And I thought I would share them with you and see if you guys think that they're ultra disturbing as well. Because I'm just not so sure. When I actually think about it, yeah, they're probably disturbing. I think it's because they were just real, and there was no polish on some of the things. And they probably didn't use a lot of focus groups back in the 80s on whether this was disturbing or not. They just made the movie and you got what you got. For example, The Dark Crystal. Do you guys remember this movie? The Dark Crystal? Jim Henson's puppet movie, right? They had all those super creepy puppets. They were big, and I think I don't even know how it was made. Were there people in the suits, or was it actual puppets? I don't really remember exactly, but I remember it being awesome. I loved The Dark Crystal, but I did have my daughter watch it, and I do think she thought it was a little creepy. But I do think she liked it, too. I do think that. Another one on the list is Matilda. I like Matilda. That one came out when I was a little bit older, though. But they talk about how neglectful the parents are, and that there's an evil teacher who throws children by their hair and then force feeds children for punishment. This is the good stuff. It was the cake scene, right? The force feeding the kid. It was like a fat kid who had to eat cake. Chowing down on the chocolate cake. That's a little disturbing, I guess. But once again, I loved it. And this is another one that I love. And it's I think it's along the same lines as The Dark Crystal. Labyrinth. I loved Labyrinth. Do you guys remember this? It was 1986. She calls out the Goblin King to take her baby brother away. Immediately disturbing. Right away. And then she regrets it, tries to get him back. Remember David Bowie and his weird outfits? That's David Bowie. He was probably disturbing. But I loved it. You guys remember the guy took his head off? One of those puppets, he could take his head off, like orange one with the big beak. Took his head off and he'd bounce it. They bounce their heads. Yeah, I guess it was a little disturbing, but I love this. If you're just tuning in on Facebook or anything like that, we are broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. These are 10 extremely disturbing movies that millennial parents show their kids. I'm guilty of them all. Of them all. I love The Labyrinth. And it is super disturbing if you look at it now. It's very different from Moana and other kid movies. But I loved it. Ooh, here's a good one. Witches. Do you remember Witches? Those were crazy witches. I watched Witches not too long ago because they did the remake of Witches. And that one's got all the polish on it. Right? This was the super creepy Witches. And I loved it. That was what made it so good. Ooh, another good one. Legend. Do you guys remember that? With Tom Cruise. Legend. Loved it. 1985. He played like a leprechaun or something. He wore the green stuff. And then he had to get the girl and save the girl. And there was Satan, right? One of the creepiest looking Satans in all of movies. Legend was awesome. That was Tim Curry, it says. Terrifying as the Lord of Darkness. I loved Legend. And I think I had my daughter watch that. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her if she sees it, if she's seen it. But I love that. Willow! Willow's at number 7. That's great. Starts with an evil queen slaughtering pregnant women and their babies in order to thwart a prophecy that says a child about to be born will end her reign. Yeah. Yeah. It's right there. It's right there in the description. Definitely a little on the disturbing side. I can understand that. Ooh, what's this? I don't remember this one being bad. The Secret of NIMH, 1982. I remember liking this movie. It says it's a G-rated animated movie about the National Institute of Mental Health experimenting on rats. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Secret of NIMH. I loved it. Absolutely. I don't think I had my daughter see that one, though. I don't think so. You got to pull it up. Make her watch it. Disturb her a little bit. The Return to Oz. Yes. Yes. You guys remember that one? The Return to Oz? Very disturbing. Lots of disturbing things in that. Electroshock therapy, it says. Wheelie monsters and a room of evil princess extra heads. Yeah, these are great disturbing movies. And they have a bonus one on here. It says The Neverending Story. One of my favorites of all time, The Neverending Story. I love it. Was that disturbing for you? You got to remember where Atreyu dies, it says. He dies, the horse, in the swamp of sadness. Yeah, I mean, it really is something. I think it has stuck with me. When Atreyu dies, trying to pull him out with the reins, can't do it. Really might be one of the most disturbing things. But I loved it. And I think maybe we need more of that. Do you think? More disturbing movies? Instead of so much shine and gloss over all the kids' movies these days? Bring back the heads that come off and the dancing puppets and the, slaughtering of pregnant women for kids' movies. This is funny. It's funny. If you put it all out there, if you make a list, we sound crazy. We really do sound crazy. But I love those movies. Labyrinth, Crystal, The Dark Crystal, Legend, Witches, Matilda. Wonderful. Someone told me Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is super disturbing if you actually think about it. That kid probably drowned in the chocolate. They shrunk the little TV guy. He can't pull him back. They sent him to the taffy room, but that just means you're going to stretch him out. He's probably dead too. The one with that turned into a blueberry, she blew up. She probably exploded in the back. A lot of disturbing things. I don't know what to say. Let's watch some. Let's get a whole list of them and put them together and watch them back to back to back. That's what I would want to do. It's just disturbing enough for me. I don't know what to say. I like them. I love them. We should watch them.